What if I told you that every time a woman tests you, she isn't trying to reject you, she's trying to find out if you're the real thing? Most men misunderstand these tests. They take them as attacks, challenges, or even disrespect. But the truth is, women test men for one reason: to see if you are strong enough to be trusted. The difference between weak men and strong men is simple. Weak men get defensive, emotional, and fail the test. Stoic men remain calm, unshaken, and naturally pass every test without even trying. Today, we're going to break down the psychology of women's tests, why they happen, the most common ones you'll face, and how to embody the Stoic mindset that makes you unshakable. Stay until the end, because this isn't just about dating. This is about becoming a man who passes life's tests with power, grace, and discipline. Let's begin. 1. Why women test men, the hidden psychology. For centuries, women have tested men in ways that men don't always understand. These tests are not random. They are deeply wired into human psychology and biology. Think about it. In ancient times, a woman's survival depended on the strength, stability, and discipline of her man. If he was weak, emotional, or easily rattled, he could not protect her, lead her, or provide stability for a family. Fast forward to today. The environment has changed, but the psychology hasn't. Women still need to know: can this man handle pressure? Can he stay calm when challenged? Will he lead with strength, or crumble when things get tough? That's why women test men. It's not to be cruel. It's not to play games. It's to filter out weakness and see if you are truly the kind of man they can respect, follow, and desire. Here's the key truth. White right pointing backhand index: a woman doesn't consciously think, "I'm going to test him." Most of the time, it's automatic. It's a subconscious way of checking if your confidence is real or fake. The men who fail are those who overreact with anger, beg for validation, try too hard to prove themselves. The men who pass are those who stay calm and unbothered, respond with grounded energy, show through their presence that they cannot be shaken. This is the foundation of attraction. Not your looks, not your money, not your status, but your ability to remain unshakable under pressure. The Stoics knew this long before modern psychology. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That is exactly what a woman is testing for: power over your own mind. 2. The most common tests women give men. Now that we understand why women test men, let's go deeper into the exact types of tests you'll face. Some are subtle, some are bold, but they all have the same purpose: to see if you're a man who can handle pressure without breaking. Here are the most common tests. Test 1. The tease test. She might tease you, make a sarcastic comment, or challenge something you said. Weak men get defensive. "Why would you say that? Are you making fun of me?" Strong men smile, stay relaxed, maybe even play along. A Stoic man knows that humor under pressure shows strength. Test 2. The delay test. She might not respond to your message right away, or she'll take longer than usual. Weak men panic, overthink, and send multiple follow-ups. Strong men stay calm, busy with their own mission. Silence doesn't rattle them. A Stoic man knows his value doesn't depend on instant validation. Test 3. The emotional storm test. Sometimes, she'll create drama, throw a mood swing, or challenge you emotionally. Weak men argue, yell, or collapse into people-pleasing. Strong men breathe, stay grounded, and let the storm pass. A Stoic man doesn't try to control her emotions, he controls his own. Test 4. The boundary push test. She might push to see if you'll bend your principles. Maybe she tests your patience, your discipline, or your standards. Weak men fold just to keep her happy. Strong men calmly stand firm. A Stoic man knows that without boundaries, there is no respect. Test 5. The comparison test. She might mention other men, an ex, a co-worker, or even a celebrity, to see how you'll react. Weak men get insecure, jealous, and defensive. Strong men remain unfazed, because they know no one can replace a man rooted in himself. A stoic man doesn't compete with other men, he competes only with yesterday's version of himself. Here's the truth. White right pointing backhand index when she tests you, she doesn't want you to fail. She wants you to pass. Every test is her subconscious way of asking, can I trust this man? Can I relax around him? Can I follow his lead? This is where Stoicism becomes your secret weapon. Because Stoicism teaches us one timeless lesson. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus. When you embody this truth, every test becomes an opportunity to display unshakable strength. 3. How Stoic men always pass women's tests. Now we've identified the most common tests women give men, the real question becomes, how do you pass them? How do you respond in a way that not only calms her subconscious doubts but also makes her feel an even stronger attraction toward you? This is where the mindset of Stoicism becomes your greatest advantage. A Stoic man doesn't just react, he chooses his response with calm, grounded certainty. He doesn't get shaken by emotions, he doesn't fold under pressure, and he doesn't beg for approval. Instead, he stands like a rock in the middle of the storm. Let's break it down. 1. Respond with calm confidence, not defensiveness. When she teases you or challenges you, the weak man defends himself immediately. He over-explains, gets emotional, or tries to prove himself. This reaction screams insecurity. A Stoic man, on the other hand, simply smiles. He doesn't feel the need to prove his worth because he already knows it. If she calls him too serious, he might reply calmly with, maybe serious men are the only ones who know what they want. Short, direct, calm, attractive. 2. Control yourself, not her. When she gives you the emotional storm test, the weak man tries to fix her emotions or gets pulled into her drama. He starts yelling, overreacting, or apologizing just to calm her down. The Stoic man knows this. You cannot control another person's emotions, you can only control your own. So he listens. He stays calm. He lets her express herself without losing his composure. His silence and presence communicate, I'm not shaken. I'm here. But I will not be controlled by chaos. 3. Live by principles, not pressure. Women will often test boundaries, not because they want to disrespect you, but because they want to know if you'll stand firm. A weak man folds quickly. He compromises his values, he says yes when he should say no, and he loses her respect. The Stoic man calmly enforces his standards. He doesn't shout, he doesn't argue, he simply states his position and sticks to it. For example, if she disrespects him in public, he doesn't explode with anger. He simply says later, with calm authority, I don't allow disrespect. If it happens again, I'll walk away. Clear. Unemotional. Final. 4. Treat silence as power. When she delays texting back or tries to test your patience, a weak man panics. He double texts, overthinks, and starts to look needy. The Stoic man sees silence as no threat. Why? Because he has a mission. He's busy building his life, his mind, his body, his empire. Silence doesn't bother him because he lives in abundance. He knows. If she chooses me, good. If not, my life is still moving forward. That unbothered energy is exactly what makes women chase him harder. 5. Don't compete, lead. When she tests you by mentioning other men, the insecure man gets jealous. He tries to compete, compare, or attack. The Stoic man, he doesn't flinch. He knows no other man can replace him because his value is internal, not external. He simply says something calm like, good for him. I'm not worried. By refusing to compete, he shows he is already the prize. That makes her respect him even more. Here's the truth. White right pointing backhand index, women don't want a man who passes every test by accident. They want a man who passes every test because he is rooted in himself. And when you live by the Stoic principle that a man is only as strong as his ability to remain calm in chaos, you will pass every test without even trying. 4. Real-life examples of women testing men, and how to respond like a Stoic. Women don't usually say, "I'm going to test you right now." Instead, it happens in the flow of conversation, emotions, or situations. These are the moments where your response either makes her respect you more, or slowly kills the attraction. Let me give you 5 powerful scenarios with examples of the weak man's reaction versus the Stoic man's reaction. Scenario 1. The teasing test. She says, "You're not my type, you're too serious." Weak man response. He panics. He starts defending himself. "No, I'm actually fun. I can be spontaneous, I can prove it, just give me a chance." This makes him look insecure, like he needs her approval. Stoic man response. He smiles, looks her in the eyes, and calmly says, "Good thing I'm not here to fit your type. I'm here to show you mine." Short, playful, unshaken. She feels a spark because he didn't collapse under pressure. Scenario 2. The emotional storm test. She suddenly snaps at him. "Why didn't you answer my text right away? You don't care about me." Weak man response. He scrambles. No. I was busy. I promise I care. Don't be mad, please." His neediness feeds her storm. Stoic man response. He stays calm. He says slowly, "I care. But I don't live glued to my phone. When I give attention, it's real, not rushed." Instead of being controlled by her emotions, he anchors her with his calmness. Scenario 3. The boundary test. She playfully hits him in front of her friends and mocks him. Weak man response. He laughs nervously and tolerates it, hoping she'll stop. Inside, he loses self-respect, and so does she. Stoic man response. He waits until they're alone, then calmly says, "I like playful energy, but public disrespect isn't my standard. Don't do it again." He doesn't argue. He doesn't explode. He just sets a clear boundary like a man who knows his worth. Scenario 4. The jealousy test. She says, "This guy at work is so confident. Honestly, he's kind of attractive." Weak man response. His face changes, he feels threatened. "Really? You think he's attractive? Do you like him more than me?" He instantly loses his position of strength. Stoic man response. He smirks and says calmly, "Confidence is attractive. But so is loyalty." Then he changes the subject. No jealousy. No begging. Just calm certainty that no one competes with him. Scenario 5. The patience test. She delays her reply for hours, or even a day. Weak man response. He double texts. He sends emojis. He spirals in his head, thinking she lost interest. Stoic man response. He doesn't care. He's focused on his mission, his goals, his life. When he does reply, it's simple, grounded, and not emotionally needy. She feels his value because he's not waiting by the phone. Here's the secret these scenarios reveal. White right pointing backhand index passing her tests is not about playing games. It's about living as a man who cannot be shaken. When you embody calmness, groundedness, and masculine self-control, every test becomes an opportunity to deepen her respect and attraction for you. 5. The Stoic Mindset Framework. Daily practices to become unshakable. The truth is, women don't test you because they are cruel. They test you because they want to know if you're the type of man they can trust, respect, and surrender to. And here's the thing, you can't fake this mindset. You either live it, or you don't. That's why you need practices that make calmness, control, and confidence part of your DNA. Let me break this down into 5 Stoic practices you should use daily. Practice 1. Morning discipline. Start your day with control, not chaos. Most men roll out of bed and grab their phone. They instantly become slaves to notifications and distractions. A Stoic man begins with intentional stillness. Whether it's journaling, meditation, or just sitting in silence, he anchors his mind before the world pulls at him. White right pointing backhand index because if you can't command your morning, how will you command your emotions when she tests you later? Practice 2. Emotional rehearsal. Every morning, remind yourself, today, I will be tested. Imagine scenarios where she teases you, delays her reply, or questions your strength. Then mentally practice responding with calmness and certainty. This way, when the test actually comes, you've already passed it in your mind. Practice 3. Control what you can, release what you can't. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When she pulls away, when she acts distant, when she throws drama, don't chase control. You can't control her mood. You can only control your presence, your response, your standards. White right pointing backhand index. Weak men try to control women. Strong men control themselves. Practice 4. The 3-second rule of calmness. Anytime you feel triggered, pause. Breathe for 3 seconds before reacting. That pause is the difference between looking insecure and looking unshakable. A woman feels safety around a man who doesn't react instantly out of fear or anger. She respects the one who responds with thought and calmness. Practice 5. Mission over woman. Never forget, your life's mission comes first. A man without purpose becomes addicted to a woman's approval. He loses himself in her moods. But a man who lives for something greater, his craft, his growth, his vision, cannot be broken. Women test him, but he passes because his heart is anchored in something deeper than desire. White right pointing backhand index. Attraction is strongest when she realizes she can never fully own your soul, because your soul belongs to your purpose. Fire. Here's the key takeaway. Passing tests is not about tricks. It's about being so deeply grounded in who you are that no test shakes you. When you live these daily practices, her tests won't feel like obstacles. They'll feel like confirmations of your strength. 6. The final lesson. Why passing tests creates lasting desire and respect. Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. White right pointing backhand index. Women don't test weak men for fun. They test because they must. It's instinct. It's survival. If she is going to let you lead her, trust you, and even one day build a life with you, she needs to know that you won't collapse under pressure. A woman doesn't feel safe in the arms of a man who can be shaken by mood swings, petty arguments, or outside opinions. She feels safe and deeply attracted to the man who remains solid, calm, and in control no matter what storm she stirs up. And this is why passing her tests isn't just about winning the moment. It's about proving, through action, not words, that you are the man she can rely on. Why passing tests fuels desire. Every time you pass one of her tests, something powerful happens in her subconscious. She feels more feminine around you. She trusts your strength without you bragging about it. She becomes more open, vulnerable, and willing to surrender to you. In short, she desires you more because you've proven what few men can. You can handle her at her worst, which means you deserve her at her best. Why passing tests builds respect. Respect is the foundation of attraction. Without it, love collapses. When you fail her tests, she loses faith in your leadership. She may still love you, but she won't look up to you. But when you pass her tests with calm strength, she looks at you with new eyes. Eyes that say, "This man cannot be shaken. This is the man I can follow." And once a woman respects you at that level, her loyalty deepens. Her attraction intensifies. Her bond to you becomes unbreakable. The Stoic truth. Stoicism teaches us that control is not about dominating others, it's about mastering yourself. And that's the real secret to passing every test, not reacting out of fear, but responding out of grounded strength. Women will always test men. You can either see this as a burden or as a blessing. Because every test is an opportunity to show her the truth. You are the man she's been searching for. Final words. Don't run from her tests. Don't resent them. Embrace them as the path to respect, passion, and trust. The man who welcomes tests and passes them becomes the man who holds not just her attention, but her admiration for life. At the end of the day, my friend, women don't test men because they want to push you away. They test because they're searching for strength. They're looking for a man who can't be swayed by emotions, who won't crumble when pressure comes, and who remains grounded no matter how chaotic the storm gets. When you react with insecurity, defensiveness, or weakness, you fail those tests, and she loses respect. But when you respond with calm, stoic confidence, you pass every test without even trying. You show her that you're not just another man chasing validation. You are the man who sets the frame, who leads, and who cannot be shaken. That's the difference between a relationship that fades and one that lasts. Between a woman who doubts you and a woman who looks at you with deep respect and desire every single day. So remember this, the tests will never stop. But that's not something to fear. It's something to embrace. Because every test is a chance to prove, not to her, but to yourself, that you are grounded, unbreakable, and worthy of respect. Stay stoic. Stay strong. And never forget, when you master yourself, you master the game.